Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some news coming out regarding Donald Trump that I want to share with you. So most of you probably know who he is. Donald Trump is the former president of the United States just before Joe Biden took office this past election. So he's going to be rerunning for election this year up against Joe Biden once again. And he was just holding a campaign rally on Saturday on June 15th in Detroit, Michigan. And while he's here at this rally, he was talking a lot about the war in Ukraine and Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. And while he's talking about this, he stated that he would have this war ended in Ukraine as president-elect. Now, this is very, very big news because, you know, if you're not even the president yet, how would you have this settled? Well, many times, Donald Trump has come out and said that he would end this war in Ukraine, that this war would have never begun if he was even president this past election. So he's come out many, many times in the past and stated that he would end this war. So he's even coming out confidently right now and saying that this war will be over most likely before January if he becomes president in November. So within that 2 month window, he would have this war settled before he even actually becomes president, because I believe inauguration is usually in sometime in January, right? So we're going to talk some more about this today, but before I get into this, I just want to say happy late Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I took the day off yesterday just to kind of relax and enjoy myself with my family. I wanted to get my headspace cleared up, make sure I can get right back on track on Monday here for you guys. So we're going to go ahead and get right into this. Thank you so much for your patience and for tuning in today. So I've got a report here on the Kiev Independent. We're going to go over this just briefly, and then once we're done with this article, I'm going to show you guys the video footage of him speaking at the campaign rally, stating that he will end this war as president-elect. So on the Kiev Independent today, Monday, June 17, 2024, Trump threatens to cut off aid to Ukraine prior to taking the White House as president-elect. So it says here, former U.S. President and presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump voiced strong criticism of American aid to Ukraine at a campaign rally in Detroit on June 15th. Speaking at the Turning Point USA event, Trump claimed he would have that U.S. aid to Ukraine settled prior to taking the White House as president-elect. Trump described that President Volodymyr Zelensky as the best salesman for securing substantial financial support from the U.S. So he's calling him the best salesman because nearly almost every time he visits the United States, he gets some sort of big aid package for his country. He just got a $60 billion package recently, and then he's stating that whenever he goes back, he's asking for another $60 billion. So he's just always asking for money, and then he's always happening to receive this money from, let's say, the United States. Is kind of what Donald Trump is saying. And it says here, I think Zelensky is maybe the greatest salesman of any politician that's ever lived. Every time he comes to our country, he walks away with $60 billion, Trump remarked. Now, here's the beauty. He just left 4 days ago with $60 billion, and he gets home and he announces he needs another $60 billion. It never ends, Trump claimed. I will have that settled prior to taking the White House as president-elect. So again, president-elect, not actually elected as president yet, or declared president through inauguration, right? So he's saying that he'll have this somewhere. I believe election day is somewhere around November 4th to 6th, somewhere there, I think. It's nowhere further than like November 10th. I can't remember exactly what date it is, but it's sometime in the beginning of November. So he's stating he would have this war settled sometime between probably November and like late December or early January before he's actually inaugurated. So we could see if he ends up winning this presidency in November, we'll see what happens. But this war could potentially, according to him, be over by the end of the year, realistically, okay? Trump's statement contained inaccuracies about U.S. aid to Ukraine, as a foreign aid bill containing close to $61 billion for Ukraine was signed by U.S. President Joe Biden back in late April. Trump previously stated that he would withhold defense assistance to Ukraine if he won the 2024 U.S. presidential election. Trump has also claimed Russia would not have launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022 had he won a second term in office. So that's something that Donald Trump has talked a lot about, stating that if he was reelected again this past election, whenever Joe Biden won over former President Donald Trump, that this war would have never happened. And all these innocent people would have not died. Everything would have been okay. because many people would say that, Donald Trump, when he was president, that there was no wars, okay, that there was no new wars being started. We had peace amongst the world. And then right when Joe Biden came in, that's when a lot of wars started to happen. So that's kind of what Donald Trump talks about. And he's stating that he will have this war ended, right before he even becomes president. So this is very, very big news. So I wanted to talk some more about this. First, we're going to be showing you a quick clip. Okay, this is from Newsmax. It's a 1-minute clip of him talking here in Detroit, Michigan at his rally and basically stating everything we were talking about. So I want you to hear it coming from his mouth, what he has to say regarding this war in Ukraine. Let's take a look.
All this money into the Green New scam. It's a scam, one of the greatest scams in history. Although I think Zelensky is maybe the greatest salesman of any politician that's ever lived. Every time he comes to our country, he walks away with $60 billion. And I like him. On the impeachment hoax #1, he was very good. He said, no, the president didn't threaten me at all. He could have been a grandstander and said, I was threatened, right, Matt? He could have said, I was threatened. So I like him. But he's the greatest salesman of all time. He walks in. So now here's the beauty. He just left 4 days ago with $60 billion. And he gets home and he announces that he needs another $60 billion, else it never ends. It never ends. I will have that settled prior to taking the White House as president-elect. I will have that settled. Got to stop it. Would it never happen?
All right, so there you go. Yep. So former President Donald Trump coming out big and stating that he will end this war in Ukraine and the money will stop going to Ukraine. So this is very big, okay, because Ukraine's been getting a lot of support recently from the West. This war has continued. We had a ceasefire proposal from Russia the other day that was completely rejected. So this war is not expected to end anytime soon from what we're hearing. But if Donald Trump ends up getting elected, according to him, he's stating that he could have this thing wrapped up and in the bag potentially by the end of the year, at least according to what I understand when it comes to the timing here of these elections and all that. So yeah, let me know what you think down below, though. This is pretty big news. Just wanted to share this with you that this, politically speaking, this could happen if Donald Trump ends up getting elected. Okay, if it ends up being Joe Biden that wins, it could be a completely different outcome. But we'll have to see what Trump's plan is here. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering what will he do to end this war, and that's a big question as well. So let me know what you think down below. Share your thoughts, concerns, and opinions down in the comment section. That's going to be it for this update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope y'all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.